Well, here's a look at the rebuild on the Union Station project. Again, we've got working on the concourses here. You can see I've got some stairwells and elevator shafts already attached to one of the concourses. This one of the big changes in the construction process. One of the changes to the construction process here. This was part of the original build. You can see how we're trying to come up with separate components to make the elevator shaft and the stairwells. And on the original build, I'd already had all the details built up on the side of the wall here, and it was going to make it difficult to figure out a way to put all these together. In the new procedure for the new build, all of this was incorporated into one structure. You can see the end wall here that I made. This will fit right up here on the end of the concourse, and then I built up the stairwells from there, and it's all a nice clean structure. And because I don't have all the details on here, this is still just a nice flat surface, no details. It was much easier to get these stairwells and elevator shafts to be nice and flush and nice and square with the rest of the building. So it worked out pretty well. And I got a little work yet to do on some of these. This isn't quite finished down here. There'll be a couple of pieces to fill in here to frame out the doors, so forth there. But this is almost complete, structurally anyway, and then I could come back in and fill in all those details. So this is working out to be much better, and give an idea what the finished structure is going to look like. So I'm about half done. I've got another concourse yet that haven't added the stairwells and elevator shafts to it yet. 3 concourses, each with 2 elevator and stairwell structures, so I got to make 6 of these to get them all done. You can see I've got 3 so far. So we're moving along. This is the first time I actually seen the nearly complete concourse structure. Of course, it doesn't have the roof on yet, but that's going to be the next step once I get these stairwells and elevator shafts done. Work is progressing on the stairwells here. I had a little setback as I was working on these. I realized I'd forgotten these 2 windows on here. I thought, how the heck could I have done that? But I forgot those windows. They're supposed to be on each side of each stairwell, 4 windows on each side. And I got them, had to actually work on cutting those holes in there to get the windows that I used a small bit on my little Dremel drill to very carefully cut out those windows, and then tried to file them square. They're a little rough, but they'll be okay. Once again, this is stuff that's on the back of the station, so they came out a little rough. I've got a few more walls like this to build, and I will, moving forward, be sure to include those windows in there without having to go back and cut them out. So they're a little rough, but they'll do. And work continues on the concourses. Try to get a little good picture in here for you. All the stairwells and the elevator shafts have been roughed in. I got 3 concourses here. And also working on a little bit of the detail for one of the concourses here. The change in construction methods have really made this so much better and easier to work with. You notice here I've got a roof panel on, and here's one of the big ideas, big changes, where the whole roof panel is removable. And I built one piece here, and you can see I've got a kind of a little flange around the perimeter of the roof panel. It gives me access to inside the station, and this roof panel just nicely fits right on top of the concourse. Also, because I've got this little flange along here, it'll really help to eliminate light leaks. On the original build, when I tried to put this together, I just kind of tried to clamp the roof panels right on top of the walls there, and it just didn't really work very well. There was a lot of light leak coming out through the seams. The panels didn't really fit on very well, and it was just kind of a mess. Also, easier to see on one of these, because I've waited till I get all the basic walls put together before adding all the detail. I'm able to make some very nice clean butt joints in the corners here. All the fiddling I had to do on the original build, trying to bevel corners and sort of fudge all that together, it just didn't turn out very well. It turned out to be pretty messy and just not very well done. So kind of one structure, and it really helps to smooth out the walls, and then when it comes to doing some of the detail, it all comes together very nicely. All the joints were nice and square to start with. You can see I've worked some of the detail around the stairwell here. So it's just a matter now of just applying the trim to the outside of the building. You can see here I've got quite a bit of it on there. Still some work to do, not all done, but having all these pieces all incorporated into one big structure it really helps to get the trim in place. Also, it just was a big help in just putting everything together to begin with, because I had all these separate little parts, and they just took a lot of work to try to get them to fit together. But changes in the design construction really make a big difference here, especially with the roof panels. This will be painted, of course. Everything else needs to be painted, but everything just fits on there nice and easy, and I don't have to go through all this Rube Goldberg approach to getting everything glued together. This will remain loose, so I can have access to the inside of the station. That was one reason I thought it was better to build without a base and kind of be able to access everything from the bottom, but it was just a big mess. So much happier with the way this is turning out. One of 3 concourses is moving right along here. It's helping also just to kind of figure out what am I going to do with the trim on here. So I'm just doing one concourse, and once I get that figured out, I'll move on to the others. So I'm still doing a lot of kind of making it up as I go to cover all of the corners in here and get all the detail to look good in here. So, but it's turning out so much better than the original. So that's kind of a quick update on the Union Station project. Going to continue working on these concourses, and once I get the get all the trim figured out here, I'll move on to the main terminal. But the concourses have really helped just to kind of try to figure out some of these new design or construction methods, and it's worked out very well. So there you are, working on concourses and trying to finish up all the detail work on here, and then I'll move back into the station. This is kind of fun too, because this is the first time I've seen the concourse this far along, all pretty much integrated into one big piece here. So a few more details yet to do, and I'm very pleased with the way this whole thing is turning out. So there you are. Well, thanks for stopping in again. I'll try to keep updates going on both the Union Station project and the layout. I've got a few things going on up there I'd like to work on as well. So I'm trying to divide my time between this project and the rest of the projects up on the layout. So thank you very much for stopping by again. Again, thank you so much for all the support and interest from all the viewers and subscribers. Wishing you all well. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy. And we will see you next time on the next video. Thanks a lot. Take it easy. Be safe. Be healthy. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.